time. This one's dedicated to you, Susan. Let's get to it. Cleveland and Baltimore. Interessante. So, immediately Roberto Alomar comes to mind. Hall of Famer, second baseman, fantastic player. But part of me wants to go to Joey Albert Bell. I think we call him Albert Bell here. He's going to be... Oh, that's nice. All right, let's hope it hits. And it does. 16%, so he's well known. We'll get back to Bell in a second because what we're going to do here in this format is there's 9 squares here. I don't want to tell a story about every player, but I'm going to pick 3 players to kind of mention something about that I think I appreciate about them. So let's keep moving on. Toronto and Cleveland. I usually use this one because this player was a World Series hero. He hit a World Series ending home run for the Toronto Blue Jays against the Phillies. And we're just going to hit that and booyah, 15%, a little high. Roberto Alomar Jr., no, Sandy Alomar Jr. is the junior. Roberto Alomar could be used again. And also Sandy Alomar Jr., his brother, could be used right here. Can I prove that? Yeah, I think I'll prove that. If I'm wrong, this will be embarrassing, but I'm taking, oh, there's a senior, there's the junior. All right, 9%er, not too shabby. A Dodger and an Oriole. I'm putting this player because I actually met him, and he's not having the best year right now. We might want to talk about that. 0.5%er. This guy was actually once voted People's Top 50 Most Beautiful People of the Year. I'm not even exaggerating. The other athlete that year was The Rock. He has been in trouble lately, but man, do I have some stories about this guy. That's probably going to be one of our other picks. Right now, Albert Bell and Scott Erickson are taking the lead on that. Blue Jays and Dodgers. Anytime I can use it, I'm going to take a Ricky Henderson pick because he's my favorite player of all time. 7%er. He's played for everybody. I could have even used it right here. It's how many teams you could use him for. I could have used him right there on the San Diego Dodgers. So we still need a San Diego and Dodger player. Adrian Gonzalez would do the job, the dodge. If we want something better than that, we can do better than that. I feel like Kevin Brown was a Dodger, yeah? 3%er too. Knew he was a Padre. I was like a little questionable about the Dodgerness. Totally a Dodger. Now, this is where we want to come up. You can come up with some strange players. An Oriole All-Star. Don't put in Eddie Murray or Cal Ripken Jr. here. Don't Jim Palmer this or Mike Mussina this. Come up with something cool. It's not so much about winning the grid. It's about coming up with cool stuff. So I'm going to go with one of my favorite batting stances of all time because I'm a batting stance guy, Mickey Tettleton. Please tell me he was an all-star one of the years he was with him. I'll still do my story about him if he's not. I think we got our 3 at the top here. A Blue Jay all-star. The guy, and I spelled it wrong. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Steeb. No disrespect, you're the man. Dave Steeb is the man. And if there wasn't already a great whole internet Dorktown thing about this guy, I would talk about him, but he's been talked about enough. This guy deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. If you don't know the video, and if I mess this up, I'm sorry. I've been drinking a little bit. Oh, you already knew that. Nice. So, a Padre All-Star that no one's kind of expecting. Let's think of something cool. I want to just come out and say Benito Santiago because he is a special player who I actually kind of think belongs in the Hall of Fame too for a lot of different reasons. I don't want him to take. Could he take Tettleton's spot in the story? He could. We're gonna go with him and make our decision later. Oh, okay, yeah. And we did the grid at a 59. That's a pretty good score. It's not insane, but it is a very nice score. Now, we'll just get straight into Albert Bell. There's a season, if I remember right, was it 95? No, 95 was Griffey's year, I think. Let's just look into it because there's a year he should have won the MVP award, and it's insane how much he should have won it by. First off, MVP 3, 2, and 3. This guy's borderline Hall of Fame just for that alone. To finish top 3 straight years. The stats he put up, this is the year, it was 95. Nice. 50 bombs. 126 RBI led the league. 121 runs scored. 690 slugging. 1.09 OBP. 401 on base percentage. 317. Let's get in on these. All right, we went too far. Just amazing stats. Who's the MVP that year if you don't give it to this guy? I'm not going to repeat the stats because you're smart. You have a calculator inside your brain. Mo freaking Vaughn. 39 home runs, 11 less home runs, same amount of RBI, 23 less runs scored, a 17-point lower batting average. His OBP was lower. What? Did I miss something? Did I miss something? What? He had 6 more stolen bases. Bell even walked more. If Bell struck out less, I'm going to have a fit, and I think he might have. I don't know if I should go look at this. I've honestly never had to look this far into something like this. 80 strikeouts by Bell. Is it really not just sitting on... I'm honestly just... I'm baffled right now. It's got me all over the place that Albert Bell didn't win the MVP award that year. Well, this will be a test of... Now we'll get to Scott Erickson. This guy actually went on a trip, a whole thing, a softball tournament my dad was in charge of in Hawaii every year. It was just a Joe Schmo softball tournament, but one year he decided to try to turn it into a celebrity softball tournament where Major League players would play in it, and every team would get a Major League player on the team. And it worked, and he, for 3 straight years, every November, I got to leave school for an extended period of time and go live my dream. So Scott Erickson is there on year 3, and super cool guy, totally cool with this dude. He was very nice, and he was apparently, according to my sister who was there was just in awe of him. And we were like, I thought it was funny. And she just kept gawking at this guy. And this guy eventually becomes one of People's Magazine's top 50 beautiful people in the world. And he was not one of the top athletes in the world. I mean, don't get me wrong. He had some good seasons here. 20 wins, 16 wins, 16 wins. But this is not a like superstar Major League player. He was doing it with the face, which is apparently that face, which apparently is a face some people like. So he has been in the news lately, and it is not good. I don't even know where to start with this. I just start with Google. Man, it's almost like they're hiding this. I'm not even sure if this is material I would cover on my channel. I all I can say is look into it, because I never thought that guy I met would be involved in some weird stuff like this. And I'm not. Yeah, we're not doing that. No, not here. So Benito Santiago, much better story. I think this guy is a borderline Hall of Famer. Why? Because I remember. I remember feeling threatened by the fact that somebody like him existed that could throw the ball from his knees and just it felt like it was 100 miles an hour to second base to throw people out. He was an amazing catcher. He played catcher in the major leagues until he was 40. Every one of these years, I'm 90% sure he was doing most of the time catching. Like, there wasn't a lot of DHing going on or playing another position. I could be wrong. But this guy was a catcher in every sense of the word. And playing that many years, playing that many games, almost 2,000 games at the position, and not being a terrible hitter. Now, are his hitting stats going to get you in, like just hitting alone? No. Are his hitting stats as a guy that was doing the job behind the plate? I mean, at 31 for the 96 Phillies, 30 home runs, that's pretty good. Does that get you on Hall of Fame? No. The Rookie of the Year award, the 1, 2, 3 Gold Glove awards, I need to find out who has taken those Gold Glove awards away from him. Ivan Rodriguez was in the other league. I'd have to think about that one for a minute. Huh. Yeah, I should know it probably. But anyway, I'm not saying this guy is actually a Hall of Famer. But I am saying this guy had a really great career and was a definite force to be reckoned with. And I wouldn't hate it if they put him in the Hall of Fame. I'd rather have the 217 home runs and 92 or 920 RBI from him than what Harold Baines provides the Hall of Fames. Now, these are great stats, don't get me wrong. But are they Hall of Fame stats? Maybe, maybe not. I used to argue because Baines is in, McGriff should be in because he's so close to one of those markers, the 3,000 hit marker, the 500 home run marker. Just let him in. Well, they finally did. Once again, Benito, not necessarily a Hall of Famer, but he's kind of in my Baseball Hall of Fame. Are we going to look into another player? I just want to look at these stats for myself. Feel free to look too. Damn, those are some pretty good stats. Damn, Mickey Tettleton would be like, oh, let's just say that if you get these stats, OBP of 372, Mickey Tettleton was ahead of his time. Batting average, not good. OBP, great. Average home runs per season, 27 at the catcher position. And also one of the greatest batting stances of all time. Not a Hall of Famer, no way. But I totally remember Mickey Tettleton. Switch hitter, right? Yeah, bats both. He would lay the bat kind of like this, and he's one of those hitters that he kind of batted the same way both sides. Chipper Jones didn't do that. Chipper Jones had a very open left-hand stance. Yeah, very like closed right-handed stance. Tettleton batted the same way both sides, and he was a definite power threat. Retired at 36. Imagine if you're 36 years old and too old to do your job anymore. That just doesn't seem right. But he took it to the finish line. 366 OBP in his last full season. Don't count this season. He probably got hurt, something happened. Don't blame him for whatever happened here. These seasons, 419 OBP in 107 games. Man, in OBP leagues with power like numbers, with those power numbers in today's fantasy, Mickey Tettleton. If they ever make a fantasy baseball game where you start playing with past year's numbers and stuff and like averages and whatnot, take Mickey Tettleton because you're going to like it. That's about all I think I have for anyone today. People were asking for content. Who are those people? Very important people to me, my friends. So this is for you. Thanks for listening, and help me come up with a closing line. That'd be cool. So bye and stuff.